So this is the only deadlift tutorial I've ever done. And this is the only one you guys need to ever watch because this one's gonna be really good. This is gonna be the 1,000-pound deadlift version. This is also our first day on prep towards our meet that we have in like, I think 28 days or something like that out in Louisiana. We're going out for a USPA deadlift world record. So I'm super excited for that. But in the meantime, I'm gonna show you guys how to sumo deadlift. This is gonna be kind of like a leg day video since it's my first day on my month out block. Since I'm tapering, getting ready for this meet, it's gonna be a pretty exciting day just because I have to go up to a single, do my accessory work. I have squats for the first time in a month as well, so that's really exciting. But yo, first how to sumo deadlift tutorial. This is gonna be an advanced tutorial, so I hope you guys are ready for this. I know you guys have been asking this like crazy, you know, asking for advice how to deadlift. This is the only video you guys are gonna have to watch now. So I'm gonna do some warm-ups and everything like that and talk to you guys along the way. We're gonna go upstairs, do some warm-ups for the legs, make sure that I'm warm because I'm freezing usually, and it takes me a long time to warm up. So you should warm up on the treadmill or like even the bike, the seated bike, for at least like 3 minutes. Because usually when you come in, especially during the winter, I'm gonna turn this up real quick. Okay, so usually when you guys come in, you guys are gonna be cold. Your joints are gonna be cold. You're not gonna be very fluid. So you wanna make sure that you're warmed up correctly and your joints are like, it just gets blood flow. You know what I'm saying? Like you need blood flow into the joints, especially if you're deadlifting heavy singles and all that. So we're gonna do this for about 3 minutes and then we're gonna work up to, I think only about 700, 800 pounds today. Very light, just because I am on program. So I gotta build up that crazy total for when I go for 900 to 1,000 pounds, anywhere around that on the USPA deadlift world record. When I go out to Louisiana, I'm gonna try anywhere from 900 to 1,000 pounds. So, but yeah, we're just warming up right now. So one thing that is very important with me, since I got injured like literally a month ago, I broke my vertebrae. I wanna make sure that I'm rolling out a lot, just on my lower back, and then also on the lat that was injured, or opposite of injury as well, just so I can loosen it up and I don't get that same injury again. Because that was, bro, that was terrible. I was out for like 4 weeks and I've never been injured from a deadlift in my life, and that was a severe injury. So then we're pretty much just gonna get straight into it. I'm gonna show you guys the basics, man, how to deadlift 1,000 pounds. So I like to start with my lower back because that's what's been the tightest so far since I've been getting up to heavier volume. Since my injury, my lower back's been affected. So I'm trying to roll it out like quite a bit, to be honest. I really can't do much. I can't, see, it's hard to talk because I can't even breathe doing it. It hurts so bad. I know this is not very convenient, but if you guys want to learn how to hook grip, the best way to do it, bro, is, this is insane. You take liquid chalk, right? You can buy these at Walmart, super cheap. You take liquid chalk, you put it all over your hands. The gym doesn't like me for this at all. They actually despise me for doing this, but you basically put liquid chalk all over your hands. So you have a layer of liquid chalk. It dries in like 10 seconds minimum. It takes no time at all. Because you have a layer of liquid chalk on, and then you put powder chalk on. So then you have 2 layers of chalk, and your grip is never gonna slip, I promise you. Okay, so I'm gonna take this step by step. The very first step I'm gonna do with 135, because that's the easiest thing. The easiest thing you guys need to know is your stance, because when you're walking up to the bar, that's the very first thing you do practically. So the very first thing I would say is just like your mindset going into it needs to be very clear. I think a lot of people think too much when they're going into a deadlift, and obviously this is like 155, so it's not crazy weight or anything. But when you're going into singles, you kind of have this anxiety in your head, like thinking, am I gonna do this or not? So you need to clear your mind, and how to clear your mind is just simply thinking about exactly what's in front of you. Stay out of your head, because that just messes you up, and you want a clear mind. Like the one thing I've been doing recently is just clearing my mind, and it keeps me very focused on exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm not going in with any anger, no like emotion anymore. It's just kind of just trying to perform the deadlift as best I can. So that's the first thing, clear your mind. You're walking up to the bar. I like to put my feet right under where the knurling ends on either side, right in the middle. So I'll pretty much just find the knurling, and then I'm pretty much perpendicular. Like you see my shins are perpendicular with the floor. So that's gonna be the first thing, is the stance. That's the very first step of the deadlift. And then we're gonna progress with the steps as I get heavier. Since we have a very minimal amount of equipment we can use right now, we're gonna be using this one hack squat. This is gonna do absolutely everything we need to do right now for warm-ups. I don't know how it's gonna be done, but we're gonna do it. We need to warm up these, whatever these are called, and these. All right, my balls, yeah. So my erectors and abductors, I think that's what they're called. I'm not sure. The inner thigh and the outer thigh, glutes, quads, just make sure I'm warmed up. So we're gonna do that all with this hack squat right now. Oh yeah, this does not look more gay. Oh yeah, get real deep. And I like to just do these, like just 10 reps. I'm like nothing scientific here. I really am not a scientist with this kind of stuff, but 10 of these and then 10 of those, whatever that is, in and out. You just can't open your legs too much. Don't do that. It looks weird. So just enough to where you're still a man, you know? I'm gonna describe the rest of the steps at my top single so I can show you guys it in action with actual heavy weight. So with that being said, this is 375. We have one more warm up. So we have 375 and then 595. And we're gonna do 705 for our single 1 month out from that USPA Louisiana meet. But bear with me, just watch these warm ups and you guys can, you know, get a good idea of what it's supposed to look like until we go through the tips. All right, so this is my last warm up. We have 595 on. This is 5 plates. So that makes it 595 with all the reds. This is my last warm up until we do our single that we have programmed for this month. Ah, damn it. My back is, my lower back hurts, bro. It's so annoying. This is the grind, boys. We got 1 month left until this competition, this USPA competition, and I want to perform as best I can. I want to be able to do anywhere from 900 to 1,000 pounds, and that's just what my heart's at right now, and I feel like I can do it. Like, I just know I can. I just have to keep working and stay patient, so. All right, boys, so how to sumo deadlift. I've gotten so many damn requests for this. So I'm finally going to tell you guys how to deadlift as a 1,000-pound deadlifter. So there's a bunch of things I could tell you, right? I can get super technical, but I'm gonna focus only on a few points just to make it very simple for you guys, because not a lot of you guys can do, maybe you guys can probably work anywhere from 300 pounds to 600 pounds, you know? So I wanna give you guys some simple tips that got me from 700 pounds all the way to 1,000 pounds very quickly. So they're the most important tips that I could possibly give to you in a shorter form. So, all right, so the very first thing, like I said earlier, is you need to clear your mind. You need to make sure that your mind is in a good spot and you're not anxious about the lift, because if it's a heavier lift, you're probably kind of anxious, right? You're kind of thinking, am I gonna lift this? Am I not gonna lift this? You cannot do that, okay? Because that anxiety will cause you to not focus on the lift and you're focusing inward. You're focusing too much on yourself. So how to express that outwardly is just focus on what's in front of you, accept it, look at everything that's in front of you, stop thinking inwardly about yourself, and it'll clear your mind and allow you to focus on the deadlift properly. So that's step 1, is clearing your mind. Okay, so step 2 is the positioning that you're going up to the deadlift bar. The very first thing that I like to do is put my feet right under the knurling. The next thing I like to do is get into my sumo stance. So what I'm gonna be doing is putting my shins about 1 inch away from the knurling, and usually on a Texas deadlift bar, there's gonna be 1 knurling on each side, okay? Put it just to the right of that a little bit. That's how I like to do it. It depends on how long your legs are, but I like to put it just 1 inch below that knurling on either side. And for the next steps, I'm gonna just lift this, and then right when I'm done, I'm gonna show you step 3. Okay, that didn't hurt too bad. All right, so now that I did that, I just wanted to get that out of the way so I can, because that's my single, I need to be doing that. So the third step, after you get your feet into positioning, right? You get your feet in the sumo stance, whatever. The next step is you wanna make sure that you're doing a press. So treat the deadlift as a press instead of a pull. If you treat it as a press, you can press a lot more weight than you can pull. I guarantee you that. You can leg press 1,000 pounds for 1 rep, okay? I know every single one of you guys can. But pulling, like doing a back pull, you can't lift as much, obviously, right? So you want to treat the deadlift as a press rather than a pull. And the easiest way I can recommend doing that, bro, is you're pressing off the floor from your quads. So act like you're pushing away the floor with your quads and you're pressing on your quads. So when you're in this position, right, you want to make sure that when you're down here, your arms are straight, your lats are tight. You want your lats to be engaged and you want your shoulders to be loose and your arms straight down, okay? Because that'll give you the best range of motion possible. So when you're going down, find your spot, hook grip, and then I want you to be hip thrusting, right? So when you go up for the hip thrust, you're pulling the slack out. That's the first step. You're gonna be pulling the slack out. So when you go up for your hip thrust, pull the slack out, and then all the slack is done, okay? Then you're gonna be pressing from the floor, from your quads. Then you're gonna be pressing off the floor with your quads. So that's gonna be the very first thing you're gonna be thinking about the first half of the lift, all the way up to your knees, is just pressing off the floor with your quads, at least for a sumo deadlift. Okay, so after you press off the floor from your quads, right, you're gonna be halfway up. You're gonna get the barbell to your knees. Now the next part is gonna be the lockout. That's a little bit more difficult with the sumo deadlift. So what you wanna make sure you're doing is engaging your lats to pass through. Once you pass through your lats, you're done. You're locked out, right? So from the knees, that's gonna be quads, right? All the way up to the knees is quads, pretty much. From there, you're gonna be using your glutes, your posterior chain, and your lats to pass through, okay? You're gonna be squeezing your lats back and then boom, you're locked out. So it's a lot of glute work, a lot of posterior and back from that point on, just to make sure you're getting that lockout. Because with sumo, the lockout's a lot harder than with conventional. So step 3 would be to engage your lats, engage your posterior, and engage your glutes to finally pass the lock. So once you're past the knees, step 3 would be to lock out your lats. So that's gonna be like a super simple tutorial on how to sumo deadlift. I don't wanna say too much to you guys because I don't want to confuse you guys, but those are the most important things I was able to do to get 1,000 pounds plus on the deadlift. In competition as well, it helped me tremendously. So if you treat the deadlift like a leg press, that's one of the most important tips I can possibly give you. Treat the deadlift like a leg press and you're gonna be pulling 1,000 pounds in no time if you're very consistent and you have like decent leverages. We're gonna be doing this belt squat for as heavy as we can. Since we have a quad focused leg day, we wanna make sure that I'm just doing a compound and doing it really heavy. And that's pretty much all I do during prep, is just like bodybuilding style, just keep it really heavy, 8 to 12 reps, and that's just how I train. So quad focus, as of right now, we're going light today because it's pretty late, so I'm quite tired. But we're just gonna be doing this for about 8 to 12 reps and then moving on. But this feels really good so far. These are the best, honestly, to grow your deadlift. These are really good because they're similar to a sumo deadlift. You're in the same stance. And since I'm gonna be like really focused on prep, like this is 4 weeks out, I have to be pushing myself. This is a great exercise to do it. So I'm gonna be making sure to hit all my accessories correctly and keeping my compounds in there, because usually when you have more compounds, your deadlift goes up. I've seen, and that's all I do is pretty much compounds after my deadlifts, and it works. Like your deadlift goes up. So. Those are amazing, especially for squat, because like they're a belt squat. It's in the name. It's like if you want to really high deadlift or a squat, you got to replicate the movements in your accessories. So leg press, belt squat, hack squat, anything like that is super, super beneficial to bring up your deadlift or your squat. Just make sure you go heavy and you really focus on lower reps, honestly, is what I've done just with heavier weight. So as we get closer to the competition, we're gonna be increasing the fatigue until we're about a week out. So as of right now, the weight's kind of light. We have to make sure that we're just pumping up the muscle, getting our singles in, getting our triples in, and whatever else, but we need to make sure that our fatigue is low. And as we get closer to the competition, the fatigue is gonna slowly start to rise, and we're gonna have a lot more soreness and just like stuff like that. So we gotta make sure that as of right now, we're just kind of pumping up the muscle, getting it. I've never in my life had the urge to twerk, but I feel like twerking right now. I'm so pissed. I want to do an angry twerk. Should I do it? I'm not gonna do it, but. All right, boys, so I hope you guys enjoyed that video. I know I've never done anything like a how-to deadlift video before, so that was a very anticipated video. And I know you guys can learn a lot from that. I know it wasn't crazy information, but those 3 things helped me get a 1,000-pound plus deadlift. And once I started doing that, it blew my deadlift up tremendously. But yeah, we have a competition in exactly 1 month. We're traveling all the way to Louisiana to do this USPA competition on a kabuki bar for the very first time. We're gonna try to do anywhere from 900 to 1,000 pounds, which is gonna be a world record deadlift attempt. I'm very, very excited for that. I know you guys have been wanting me to compete a lot. Those videos did super well, so I'm very, very excited about that. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure to drop a like, comment, subscribe, do all those 3 things. See y'all boys in the next one. Peace.